All right, we have a simple question, and this post or this video is derived from one of the questions that I got from one of my friends. We said that, can childbirth cause the hips to grow, or can childbirth make the hips get bigger? And I have somebody who said that the hips, he has been doing a lot of things, eating protein, doing some exercise, but the hips is not, her hips is very small. But she's like, hello sir, can giving birth or pregnancy or childbirth make my hips get bigger? So I want to use this video to clear something. When we talk about beauty, it's not only about the eyebrows, the eye color, the skin hair, and the body cream, but also depends on the body shape of the lady. Also, when we talk about getting large hips, getting big hips, some comes naturally when it can be enhanced and based on some we'll be sharing below. It means that some people might not be too fine about their shapes, but whereas some are always like that. Some men get attracted to different type of size of hips, and we can learn to have many days going for hip surgery. But I noticed that some ladies, when they don't have enough hips, when they are deficient somewhere, they feel like, let me go for this surgery, let me go for hip surgery, let me go for liposuction, boot lifting, and all those things. Let me tell you this, for instance. A sister said that she's too skinny and she wants some hips and she wants some laps, but she doesn't want to get the boob, and she doesn't have any hips. But when I saw her, I noticed that she's the kind of person that she doesn't have hips, but she's not fat. So when she got pregnant, her body enlargement begins to manifest, and including her hips. And I also noticed that her hips got bigger even times. So all those things we need to do. But then back to the answer that can childbirth expand the hip size very fast, or can childbirth make the hips grow fast in size? I can tell you that categorically that childbirth increases the hip size, the size of the hips. And if you look at childbirth, when a woman gives birth, and what happens is that the pelvic gets shifted and gets lifted, so it's going to give you the hip, and so that makes the hips got enlarged and increase because of the cervix and the pelvic. So the cervix is closer to the hips, and during childbirth, so it displays, so it got displaced, it got shifted, and which brings about the hips becoming bigger, the bum or the buttocks becoming bigger, and that. So if you want a big hips or a bigger hips than probably you have before, but don't worry yourself, don't be so much in a haste, don't disturb yourself. By the time you give birth, your hips will definitely get bigger. And it also happened to my wife, because when we started the girlfriend thing, and that about that time, I noticed that she had a small waist, a small hip, but now her hips is enlarged and she's looking more beautiful and more attractive. So it happens. But if you want, but there are other ideas that increase the hips apart from childbirth, and which is as in regular intimacy. When you get intimate with your man regularly, it's also then eating of fatty foods. Also, when you eat more fatty foods, especially if you're on the skinny side, it can increase your hips. Then you don't do too much of exercise. Just stop exercise. No physical activities, just walking and all. So don't be engaged in running, in all those things. Then another thing that can also increase the hip size apart from childbirth is squatting. You need to squat more. Squatting increases the pelvic size, and whereby lifting up the hip, which makes it a little bigger. And also yoga. Yoga exercise also works on the hips, and soft hips exercise that someone they also need to sleep. And another thing which I've also known that help increase the hip size is having a peace of mind in marriage. If you have peace in your marriage, you are loving and nothing, then I'm very sure your hips are going to get bigger. So I think I've used this medium to answer the question, like, does childbirth make the hips get bigger? So if you are anticipating or you want your hips to get bigger, why not try childbirth? Or if you notice that, okay, you just want to do anything, you don't need to go for hip surgery. By the time you start giving birth to children, after the first child, the second child, then the hips and your buttocks will be very big. And so I think I've answered your question. Please subscribe to this post so that I can actually get fresh updates from us in our next post.